years now ago. He started reading the Bible.
Okay.
And then he went and got the book of Enoch and the book of Josephus. And he got to explaining everything to me. And I was raised in church because my dad was assistant pastor. But George was opening my eyes to the 12 tribes of Judah.
Okay.
And explaining to me that, we're from the tribe of, I believe he said Jacob. I don't want to quote him wrong.
Okay.
But he just started doing it like a podcast over the phone, and he was talking to people and answering questions. And then he started watching the unclean food we were partaking. My crab legs, for one, I've given up. And
don't mess with the crab.
I know. But he was explaining to me that everything God created has a purpose.
Yes.
And the purpose for the very crab and the lobster is to keep the bottom of the ocean floor clean, which the fish that he okayed for us to eat, wouldn't make us sick or cause bacteria infections in us and everything. So when George started changing his eating habits, it bled over into the family. All of us gave up the pork. None of us eat, the fish we don't supposed to eat. And you don't miss it because it's a substitute for everything. Everything that the Lord said don't do, it's a way to eat it and get that same flavor. That was a wake-up call for me because I'm like, I'm the mother. You're going to eat whatever I cook, And then he was telling me the reasons. Mom, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And
by the way, people have met George. George is a very, he's a very convincing person in his own right.
Yes, and he'll do everything so gentle.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So
that's great.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah. So now he's all of us, everybody's household. I mean, we eat what we call cleaner, the best we can. Pray over all things. And it's adult friends of mine now asking my son to put together a Bible study group. And he's like, Mom, I'm working on it. He's like, I don't work. I know people think I'm not busy, but I am busy. And in his spare time, he's the king of baking cheesecakes. So he's really busy. Does a lot of crafting. Yeah. But he calls me for Sunday dinner every Sunday. So he doesn't drive a car due to, he never, like he said, it's so unpredictable with sickle cell.
Right.
Crisis is so unexpected. So he doesn't want to be behind the wheel of a car. He doesn't want to cause harm to himself or no one else. And I respect that.
So, see, that's the whole thing, okay, that you meet a lot of people that have the, the things, the diseases they got to deal with and stuff, okay?
Correct.
And sometimes they can be like mean to people, they have a mean attitude. But George has always been, he take it in stride, okay?
Yes.
And he's also a giving person.
Very.
Now, we just talked about that the girls are all healthy. How many grandkids do you have?
I have 6 grandchildren.
Okay.
I have 1 by the oldest, 2 by the second daughter, and 3 grandchildren by the third daughter, ironically. 1, 2, and 3. So a total of 6.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, having said that, knowing you're a good grandmother, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because your phone never stops because your kids are always calling, Mom, what about this? What about this?
This is so true.
Now, that brings us to the point that let's talk about Debra Sinkfield. You have some ailments your own, so talk about those.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with lupus in 2010. I fought it. I denied it for 2 years. And I kept saying, no, it couldn't be lupus because I have a son with sickle cell. And I have the trait. And I was like, okay, well, let's run this test again. And something they do, some certain tests to look for the lupus gene or whatever. So I have my good and bad days. Like today is a rainy day, I sit still. That's when the pain is the worst. Other than that, I keep on moving. I still do my lawn. I still do what I got to do.
Okay, well, people that are aware, okay, what is lupus? Tell us a little bit about lupus.
The particular lupus I have is SLE. There are different lupus. There's ones with the rash on the face. I don't know too much about that one. I only studied the one that I was diagnosed with.
Okay, I understand.
But what it does is the body speeds up so fast that it messes with my major organs like the heart, the brain, the nervous system, the cells. So to keep them under control, it's like they want to really keep you heavily medicated. I'm telling you, it was one time I was on 19 pills a day.
19?
And herbs. I'm like, no, I can't give a pharmaceutical my total life.
Jeez.
So when it's real bad, I'll take prednisone. Not a high dose like they recommend, but I will take it.
Mm-hmm.
It calms it down a little bit, and I just rest. So
now, that's why I want people to understand. When I use the word super mom, okay, not only that we're taking care of the needs of her grown kids, she's also taking care of her own needs as an adult, who also has lupus. Now, when you first got lupus, how did that testing process to change your life when you got lupus?
The falling,
I should say,
staying out of the sun.
I should add, what are some of the side effects from lupus? I should ask that. I didn't put it the right way.
It affects the immune system unbelievably. So when COVID hit, that was devastating for me. I think that was the hardest time I had to accept the illness. But I get tired. I get tired quick. It settles in your voice. You just never know. It affects so many things: vision, energy level. But I still got to keep pushing on. Past it. So.
Well, I know. We was talking the other day. Okay, I think it was just yesterday. I think it was. You're trying to beat the rain.
Yes.
You're cutting the grass.
Yeah. and here comes the rain. But I did it. I'm paying for it today. My hands are swollen up. The hands swelling and the feet swelling is, I think, the most painful.
Wow.
I really, really do. I think that's the most painful. But I've learned to work with it.
Oh, yeah.
When I look at my son and how many times he got stuck and all he went through, I'm like, Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was an example, of being almost like a needle pad, really.
To this day, that still exists.
Right.
Yeah, because Mondays now they do it a different way. George labs every other Monday.
Okay.
And they automatically give him 2 units of blood. They want to stay in front of a crisis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, okay? What is George's personal life like? Does he have kids? Or how does
George has no children, but George always say he asking God for a wife. And when he have children, he said, Mom, I'm going to have 7, and I'm going to line them all up on your sofa. He said that since he was a little boy, he never married. So he is careful. He does date. But he was like sickle cell. He have to make sure that if he ever was to marry or have children, that person doesn't carry the gene at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And then plus, okay, there's the possibility of him bringing a person to the world. That I mean, all that has to go through a person's mind, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure, that the girls, okay, when as they grew up, okay, they probably asked themselves, could I possibly, have no.
Right. You have to know your partner. Because my husband said he didn't have sickle cell. He denied it. He's like, I don't carry the trait. If I would have carried it, they would have told me when I enlisted in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. That was not true. He got tested with Johns Hopkins University, and sure enough, he, carried the sickle cell trait. It's 1 in every 4 children, but they recommend not having children with a, person with sickle cell. Yeah.
Now, for people out where George Hopkins University is a very distinguished institution, okay, for research. and that's when he was actually diagnosed. Okay, no,
I'm sorry.
be passed on.
How did what? I'm sorry.
I said, how common or uncommon is that for a person to get the trait in their everyday lives?
The person carrying the trait, if I'm understanding your question, even the carriers are. That's why you see that ball player. I'm not a sports person, but the young man that passed playing sports, he had sickle cell. He carried the gene, anemic gene. Those people do get tired faster than I guess what society will call the norm. You know, even being athletes or whatever they do, even being moms, they when they're exhausted, they're like wiped out. But back in the day when I was going to school or got married and had children, nobody was discussing the possibility of a female and a male getting together making children, making sickle cell, you know, a child with sickle cell disease. Even when I got married in 1980, I never got a blood test, even when I married my husband. So, you know, the ball was dropped, of course.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, so now, okay, in the Supermom, organization, how can a person participate? How can they be a part of it? Tell us a little bit about those things.
Supermom is a recognition program, basically, and I have the link I will share with you, and they can also go to my Facebook page, and it's there. The link is called Supermom itself. And you go in there and you vote for a person, you read the stories, you listen to the stories, you're more than welcome to donate also.
Okay, now that's Supermom, all caps, lowercase, high case,
Yeah, it's all, I'm pulling up now, it's all caps.
Okay. And that's 2 words or 1 word?
1 word.
Okay. Okay, and so when they get to the site, okay, they can get, some stories.
Man, that's kind of hard to explain for me.
That's where we can play with it.
I have it posted on my page, Debra Sinkfield, on Facebook, because the Supermom, I'm having calls, people telling me they're having problems getting in. So I just shot them an email earlier today and asked, is it offline or what's going on with it?
Okay. Well, right now, okay, for people that want to hear our program today, and I sent you the link. Click on USAHottalkradio.com. All right, Scott, and that way you can hear us on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and also Instagram.
Okay.
Also, wherever you can get your podcast, we are syndicated on RSS.com.
Yeah, we also syndicated on RSS.com also. And then plus also you can find us on Spotify and all most places out there. We've been doing this a number of years now, and we have an interesting program according to people, to our listeners, okay? So these different organizations, will pick us up, okay? Because what we try to do here, Deborah, is have people come on like yourself and talk about things people normally don't hear about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they need to hear about.
Right, because it affects all of us.
Yes, yeah. It does. Because you never know when a person, is that you're talking to. You don't have a sign on your head or back there. I am a Supermom. I got sickle cell. I got lupus or nothing like that. So we try to take out airtime that we have here and talk about those things that take place in our communities and how we can help each other to get along better.
Correct.
And how we can and help the community be stronger, because the more you understand, the more you know, the more powerful you can be in building a strong community.
I totally agree. Each one teach one, yeah.
I like that. One of the things, okay, if you met Debra Sinkfield, she's a beautiful young lady. I think she always has been very nice. I mean, and a nice personality. And you would never know that all the burden that she would carry, because she don't go around talking about it.
No.
I mean, she don't talk about what she don't have, or what's going on in her life that's not going the right way. She just, she just, engage you and try her best to make sure you have a good time. And enjoy your day.
Love kiss too. Yeah.
Am I right?
You are absolutely correct.
You know something that I never asked you before. Okay, I know you love to cook.
That's my thing right there. Love to cook.
Okay, yeah. So right now, I never asked you before. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have one brother. My sister passed. God rest her soul. When she was 23 years old. Okay. So it's just my brother and myself. My family's gone on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that makes it even harder. Okay, not having a big support group. Right. To deal with the things that. Some on the Supermom. When did that get started?
Oh, this is April of 2026 this year.
Okay, now I love being on the front end of a brand new organization.
Yes, I know.
So now, how can a person support or join the Supermom organization? I'm quite sure there's a lot of mothers right now. Let's get this, be honest about this. A lot of mothers out here who may hear this program, who may have some of the same issues that you have, but one thing we do know, if you're a mother, okay, your day never ends.
Never, for real. Day or night, for real.
Your nights, yeah. And I'm saying that, but to raise some beautiful children, and I'm quite sure, I'm always just so highly impressed with Brother George, okay, becoming a minister in his own right, that teaching the word, even when he had his own problems.
Yes.
So that is just, for him to be giving back, okay, if that's what I'm saying, it's so powerful.
And I'm so grateful. I know it's a higher power above all of this.
Oh yes, I mean, that is shown directly. You know what I mean? Right. You would think a person who's going through all the things that he be a down person, not a down disease, okay, I'm saying, but right. Somewhat depressed, someone want to seclude himself, or whatever, but now, how has George learning how to cope with this? What are some of the early things that you had to deal with when you're trying to teach him and the girls about how to deal with sickle cell?
And that's the biggest blessing of all. We had to go in and flush that line out, that port line. Mm-hmm. And my oldest daughter at the time, her and George are 6 years apart. Mm-hmm. She used to go in that room if I fell asleep from work or whatever, wash her hands, use the alcohol, and she would flush it. You would have to use saline flush and send that through the line and then do what's called hep lock to make sure you locked it. I was so afraid when she said, I already flushed George's port, Mom. And I was like, you did what? It was second nature. I was like, man, she probably did it better than I did. I mean, it seemed kind of gross to me. I thought it would devastate them, but they went on with it and accepted it and always were overprotective of George. So George always said, Mom, when I start dating, I have to make sure it's somebody I really like because my sister's going to question them too much. And sure enough, that is how it, happened. They, why do you like George? Why do you want to talk to my brother? But they were so protective, and still to this day, I don't know what the force is, but my children call me in line, all four of them, and they don't even know. One starts at 7:30, and the other one will be the last call at 10. Every single day. Wow. Every single day, yeah. George is living on his own now. He's had his own apartment for 7 years.
That's commendable. Okay, you see,
You're breaking up, Ira.
Yes,
okay,
breaking up.
okay. Let me see if I can change this around here. Hold on a second. Okay. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. How we doing now?
Better.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay, so now, so Deborah, with them taking up the, some of the chores, okay?
Yes.
Cleaning, his,
Helping us care.
helping his care and stuff. That's powerful by itself, okay? For them to, like you said, for her just to do it on her own, okay?
Right.
And that gave you some free time, I'm quite sure.
It really did. I no longer had to speed home from Pacific and try to get back to, Florence, and that's a heck of a drive.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a blessing. I mean, when the grown-ups all around were panicking, God rest my mother's soul, my mother was like, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want anything to happen with him. And that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that, being normal. I don't want to try to put medicine that's right in his heart. And but my daughter.
That's not something that a person can take lightly, okay? No, because that's life and death.
Right. Where we just got, not saying used to it, but we had learned, we came sure in ourselves. So that ended up the biggest blessing of all, still to this day. So I know if I can't be there, one of them got it. So.
Okay, so now, well, George does it himself now, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, he does. Yeah. But if he does have a crisis, which he does seem to have them 2 months at a time when the weather is so cold, he'll stay. He'll come spend some time here with me so I can make sure everything's okay.
Well, like I said, it's just that home always remains a home. They can come home.
Right.
And knowing that mom's there, and they got a place where they can go to or come to. Not go to, come to. Come home.
Right. That is absolutely correct.
So but I guess, Deborah, as we have this conversation, okay, how many times do you take and kind of reflect on how blessed you are that you took something that could have been what people would call negative and turned into a positive, and then now you have your son actually being a minister.
Right. I get asked that a lot, but it's the strangest thing and the common thing with me is I've always heard all my life as a child, God never puts no more on you than you're able to bear.
Yes.
So I said, you chose me to be George's mom. So that means, with that in the front of my mind, that gave me the equipment to say, he wouldn't have gave me a son with sickle cell if I could not handle it. I never let that weigh me down. So the answer for me is no more than I was able to bear. Thank God it could have been worse. I mean, you look at other children, some in wheelchairs, and I've been in groups with these moms, with disabled children. And when I look back and reflect in mine, I'm like, well, I can bear this. I mean, I really can. I can bear this. I know nothing else, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because right now, okay, no. And all the time I know you, okay, you never had to say, stop, I gotta go do this for George, okay? You just blend things in.
Right.
It was like a blend in society, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything fits into the right spot.
And it does. It does. I think the way you think of stuff has a lot to do with it. Why me or whatever. I never asked those questions. Why not me? Why not me? I wanted a son so bad. I got a son. So I'm grateful.
Well, and you got a minister also. That's make it even a double blessing.
That is so true. So true.
because
grounded.
yeah, I mean, and, and even now, okay, like we was talking earlier, that in any given day, your daughters and your son make mom a part of their day.
Right, right.
Yeah, what I mean, that like a lot of times, you talk to your daughter ever so often, your son, that's how most people are. But your kids constantly a part of your everyday.
Everyday life, they are.
Everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That they're contacting you not just once or twice a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
Correct. That is so true.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You get into the super mom, you going. That's what I'm saying. I can understand how doing it, and I just recall back in some years going by. Okay, I remember a long time ago. I think it was the Post Dispatch. Had the neatest cases one time. You recall that? And I think you wrote a beautiful story about how you qualified. Do you recall that?
I do remember that vaguely. I do.
Yeah, I mean that was years ago. That was years ago. Okay, and I read the article in the paper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because I would read those. Okay, and then I would say, well, that sounds like that is devil.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I mean that's my point. Okay, is that you kind of make things sound so simple. In everyday things for somebody to do, that would make the average person become. Just to think about it, you just said, okay, how changing that port every day, in and out stuff, putting the saline in, because I know I need needles myself.
Yeah. It's a challenge, but the more you do something, I guess it just becomes habit. But when you love somebody, you go the distance. Love is, not a light switch. It doesn't go on and off. Once it's on, it's on.
Yeah.
So, I'm just so grateful. I'm like 40 years old this year. Wow, look at God.
Yeah. I mean that's what I said. You look back, okay, you guys come a very long way.
Yes. I really have to stop and think and remember. I guess you want to say the rocky times, because it's been some rocky times, with all of us.
Oh my God, yeah. I remember, I recall, even, back in your personal life, okay, with your husband, time, the drama, okay, that he would have back in those days. I remember, and I'm not going to elaborate, okay, with my mind about the car being blown up and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was, and my husband was angry. He wanted an athletic son. He wanted a son. And then my son was the only son of the family's last name.
Oh, wow.
So I think he made that bigger than what it was. I'm like, you can't expect him to be an athlete, and you're not an athlete. I mean, he's a brainiac. I mean, George excelled. He got a full scholarship to Webster University. And, I was shocked.
That's my point, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have the average child.
Right.
But now having said it, okay, all that points towards you being a super mom.
Correct, yeah.
To be there and have been supportive of him, for him to be able, to raise himself personally.
Yes.
Along, sometimes people forget kids you don't just raise a kid. A kid already does it. It's a joint venture, so to speak.
Correct.
With you and your child.
Yeah. And the saddest moments in my life were graduations. I looked at the chair next to me and said their father should be here. Those kind of got to me every now and then, but as each one began to graduate, that became a lot easier too. But both parents serve a role. It's just that as a mom, we were built a little different, I believe. That's just the law of nature. But like I said, I wish their dad had been here. But if it was going to be bad, then the best thing happened. So,
well, one of the things that we try to do here on Ferguson USA HotTalkRadio.com and not was about you on common race. Like in this case here, you created. God gave you a whole new career.
Yes, he did.
Not just being a parent, and a mother, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but just to make sure that no matter what went on in your life, okay, your kids came first.
That is absolutely correct. And still, I'll never get rid of that because that exists today.
Oh yeah.
When they say it, I'm saying. If they hurt, I hurt. Yeah.
And I know for a man to be around your life, not just a man, like females or whoever, a friend in your life, okay, they not only have to accept you, okay, they also have to accept George. The whole family.
Right, we are one. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's truly okay, so that you're one, and you're a unit.
Right, that is correct.
And it didn't just end it, and they got 18.
No.
When they turned 21.
No. Oh no. When they had their first child. No.
When they had their first child.
Yeah.
And like I said, and the fact that they continue to lean on you, and I use the word lean not lightly, but in a strong way, iron sharpens iron.
Right. Absolutely. And I pray for many more years. I pray to see my grandchildren, great-grandchildren. It's family.
Let me ask you a question, okay? As you have grandkids or you watch your daughter, okay, have any other kids, okay, show any signs of having sickle cell traits?
No. Now they test. George was born 1986 at Mercy, St. John's Mercy, and he was not tested for sickle cell.
Oh.
That was the first hiccup. They test now. They test all African American children for the sickle cell trait.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I had George, I actually went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant with my daughter, and they wanted to do an amniocentesis to make sure this particular baby did not carry the sickle cell trait.
That's right.
Sickle cell disease, but she did have the trait also.
Let's back up. They had to do a what kind of test?
I think I'm saying the name right. Amniocentesis, where they take the needle through your belly while you're with the child and draw the fluid off so they can test it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, well, what happens if this baby, does test positive with the same thing my son had? They were like, we recommend abortion. Just like, hey, just kill it. No biggie, just kill it. And I'm like, no.
No, yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the super mom, comes into play here. Okay.
Right. Like, what? Take a life? What?
Yes, yeah. Like, what?
Right. Like, it was just simple. The solution, hey, just kill it. Abort it. I mean.
You can't just take away life from my family.
Right. And who am I to take life, period?
Right.
Yeah, so. But when you were asking about my grandchildren, no, by the grace of God, they do have the trait. So we educate them to make sure it is so important before you, get married or call yourself one and a half children or whatever.
Right. That's
know that person.
That's what I was getting at, okay? Mm-hmm. Because it's not just a casual dating situation.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
This is something that is a lifetime situation.
Right. And that is so true. And it's hard. It's not easy.
And then the partner to be, I use the word the partner to be because they would say, I didn't ask for all this.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't want to sound too insensitive, about it.
No. That needed to be said. As us as a race of people, we really have to be concerned for our future and having a healthy, normal baby as possible. So I definitely support that. Definitely. I'm like, oh, please be careful.
I would never ever forget the first time I held my first daughter. My oldest daughter, okay, I know how I felt when I held her, but I was overjoyed, okay, when I got my first grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I'm blessed again. It's amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's again, okay. And then, like I said, when it happens, okay, it's like God is taking me to a new level.
Right, and He did.
Yeah. And He did, and I will tell you this, okay, because I can say this better than you is, okay. Mm-hmm. I never forget now. Somebody got my first great grandson.
Wow, haven't crossed that bridge yet. I'm waiting on it, but I haven't.
Yeah. I know. Right now, Isaiah, you know, I'm calling him Izzy, you know what I mean? And matter of fact, you know, he's like a brilliant little kid, you know.
Wow, he's a boy.
He's a boy. Yes, I have 3 great grandsons.
Wow.
And a great granddaughter. And I would have had 2, okay, but one of my grandsons, his daughter passed away a couple of days here on Earth, okay. So that's, I would have had 2 great granddaughters, okay. But having said that, okay, with my number 1 great grandson, he and I text every night. You know, I give him this prayer, good night every night. You know.
How beautiful is that?
You know, and sometimes he responds back. You know, and because I was doing that with his father, my number one grandson. He said, Papa, you know, why don't you share these texts with Izzy, okay? You know, and because he kind of likes that, you know. So,
okay.
A couple of years gone by now, okay, and every night that I can, okay, you know, he gets his text.
That's a beautiful thing. I would keep on doing that till the day I meet my maker. That is beautiful.
Well, right there, it's a beautiful thing to be able to communicate to those generations.
Yes. Yeah, and they teach us a lot.
Oh my God,
they teach us a lot. My very knowledge of this cell phone came from my granddaughter. Oh my goodness. You know, my daughters always take the phone and be like, I got it, Mom. They'll just do it. But the granddaughters will walk me through it and show me how to do the same thing without, you know.
Well, I remember when my number one grandson, Dante, when he was young, okay, my daughter, she wanted me to help her with Christmas, okay. And so I got the TV, okay, and she got the VCR, right?
Okay.
And I'm saying now, at this young age now, one of the kids need a TV and a VCR, right? Mm-hmm. Well, right now, okay, he's my number one grandson now. He's in technology now, where he's doing things like working with companies like Elon Musk now.
Oh, wow.
You know, he's an engineer, a special engineer in that technology now.
See, and it all started with that VCR.
You're right. It started out with that VCR, something way back then. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's just small things like that, in your child's life. Okay.
That is so true.
That you know, at the time, and you know, when you reflect back on it, and you know, you want to say how blessed I am.
Right.
That we were able to, make that happen for him.
It's so true.
You know,
and you seen them grow from that. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
You know, and I guess, Debra, another thing your ex-husband probably was that all my grandsons, no, have one thing in common. They had told me, I want to be like Papa.
That's beautiful.
You know, like
footsteps, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, one time I would take them to meet with me, okay, with my briefcase and stuff, you know. And say, I want to be a bit. In fact, the one I'm talking about, Dante. Mm-hmm. He said, I want to be a businessman like you, Papa.
That's beautiful.
And today he says things, okay, and I want you to be proud of me, which I am.
Right, very.
You know, just to see them, okay, to go through their hardships and still remain focused.
Wow. That's beautiful, and you're active in their lives. That's the main thing.
Well, Debra, one of the things that, like you, okay, I always wanted to have daughters, okay, in my life when I was growing up, okay. And I didn't want. I wanted a son, but I didn't want to have a son because I didn't want a son trying to compete with our folks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
My little brother, you know, he's a good football player, and one of the sports I excelled in was football. But he didn't want to play football, so I didn't play baseball, right?
Oh wow.
So he became a great baseball player in high school.
Oh wow.
But he didn't want to be being compared, okay, you know, to me, you know, and stuff like that. And you know, and it's kind of, you know, it's ironic, okay, how people, you know, young men think.
Mm-hmm.
People think, okay. Personally, I never gave any thought to anybody, you know. I mean, but you know, about that, I just saw something I could do, you know, and I can help someone.
Right. But that competition, that's kind of good for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about, between siblings.
I
can see that. I watch my grandchildren and the two brothers. One likes football, one wanted to be a soccer player. But it makes them excel in each item that they chose. So they got the need to outshine the other.
They want to be the best they can be.
Right. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing.
But see, again, okay, this goes back again to that super mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that organization, you know, we'll grow in a lot of ways, okay?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of super moms out there, and there's going to be more super moms out there.
Yes, with their stories to tell. Which will help somebody.
Will help somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and matter of fact, that's why I was so excited to want to do this show with you, okay, when you first told me about it, you know, because, you know, really, we had planned to do it, you know, a couple of weeks, you know, in advance, you know, so we had to do it, you know, move it up to today, okay?
Right.
And that's why I kind of, you know, I did probably prepare like I normally would for the show, but I just, because I want to get this done, because Scott's going to be away, right, Scott?
I'll be away on the last weekend of the month.
Right.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Right. So that was the day that we had picked for Debra.
Sure did.
We had picked for Debra, okay. you know, for her, you know, to do this around the holiday, okay, it would be perfect, okay. So when we had to make some changes around with the guests and what have you, okay. Matter of fact, one of our guests today we were going to have was the mayor of Ferguson. I said the former mayor of Ferguson, Yellow Jones. But as it turned out, people not aware today in St. Louis, this is good news for people who don't know, who need to know this. Jasmine Crockett, you know, Congressman Jasmine Crockett, you know, she's home today because she's from St. Louis. And so she's going to be with Mayor, her and Mayor Jones, along with Ben Crump.
Wow.
You know, the famous attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so today, the mayor is going to be her day, okay, today. And so we were talking in the last night, matter of fact, she was telling me what was going on. I said, Mayor, no. Hold on, let me see if I can make some changes right quick. So you graciously agreed to move your date up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
That's why people don't understand when you're doing a show, okay? You know, a lot goes into this. So right now, matter of fact, Jasmine Crockett, you know, and that's another beautiful young lady. She's from St. Louis, by the way. You know, to do what she has done, you know, in fact, my brother-in-law is one of the Ivy Crockett, you know, part of the family. But for her to be what she has done is ran for United States Senator in the state of Texas also. I mean, again, these young kids, okay, that expand. Like, go way beyond what we thought they would do. You know what I'm saying?
That's a beautiful thing, though.
You know, but that's why I said. So you graciously said, "Okay, Ira, I can do this," and right now we're doing it.
Right. You know, see, my nerves was all over the place. But
no, I know you said, "All right." I said, "No, just settle back, be yourself."
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that we try to do. is when we're doing these podcasts. Well, we start off calling them shows, programs. Now you got the word podcast. But anyway it goes, okay. We put in stuff in history, in the archives, that people can find out and go back here because it's got this see with rss.com. Our programs are there for eternity, and they're labeled there so people can always go back, like encyclopedia, and find out some of the things about Supermom. Matter of fact, we can say this will be our first Supermom program.
And there are many more to come.
Yeah,
many more speaking that into existence.
Many more to come. Okay, and that's why I said so today. Some of the things I had to change around, that allows what he did today, and with my normal, monologue, as I call it, about what's going on in the community. We kind of moved those things around because I wanted to have us a family time atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not be talking about the politics and the blah, 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 that you hear all the time.
Appreciate that.
Oh, no. Well, see, it's got to tell you, we try to be as for real as we possibly can with our programming.
I love it. Yeah. It seems so natural. That's when you know it's truthful.
Right. Yeah. And that's why when a guest comes on, we want the guest to talk about the things, like in the case today with you, Debra, and first I can spell your name also, Debra, Debra, not Deborah, Debra.
Yeah, Debra. Yeah, right, not Deborah.
I know, right, that you, I mean, no, it's Debra, okay. But having said that, especially as your name is, you are also special, okay? And I watched you over the years and watched you raise such a super family, for lack of a better description. To be a super mom, you got to have some super kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I when you said that, I heard my oldest daughter say, yeah, my mom worked in a penitentiary and she treated us like inmates. Well, I didn't treat them like inmates. I just made sure they didn't end up one.
Oh, Debra, something, and I recall now your career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did that, and then that's when I took myself back to school. Enough of this, and I ended at City Financial, but
I recall, even during that part of your career, okay, you still had time for your kids.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot about. That's why I said we have history together, okay, and it's not negative history. It's all positive history.
Sure.
Because all that time, okay, I watched you keep your kids, and I said embraced, okay, and when you were doing, the children were also involved, also.
Right. They can't go. I don't need to be there. So.
Right. Oh yeah. All right. I mean, that's the beauty of being a super mom. That's what I said. This be the first of many super moms, okay? Because I'm quite sure some other super moms we will have in the future, not just Debra Sinkfield. But you were the first one on Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio.com. We'll launch with the Reserve Chamber of Commerce.
Wow.
Because really, this is if you say how is this business? It is family business.
Right.
And all businesses start with the family.
It sure does. It sure does.
I mean, and right now, everything that you have done, to be a super mom, is I commend you. Making sure you have to manage your time to make time for all the things that go into a 24-hour day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't put off Canes and George's.
No. Medication schedule. No.
Right. I mean, so that had to be done. In that day, in that 24 hours. No matter else goes on. Okay, where we may go whatever you may do, you still gotta have that into your day.
That is so true.
That
is the truth.
If you want to dinner, if you want to the show or something, whatever, that has to fit into your life.
Right.
Daily. Your daughters, 3 daughters, okay, is not easily to raise.
No.
I said 3 beautiful young ladies right now.
Yes, I'm proud of all of them. I'm so proud. I'm so blessed.
Ooh. Yeah. As a matter of fact, some of the pictures that you sent me, for the program, I just kind of looked at a couple of them, okay, and said, I remember when.
Right. Now they're grown with children of their own.
Right.
Yeah. And husbands, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that you said, with children of their own, and that's your legacy. They always would talk about, Mom, see, the thing that you and I don't hear is, if we could ever listen in on what our kids talking to their friends about their parents, okay, you'd be surprised at the things that they say.
I hope so. I hope it's all right too.
It's all good, okay? Cause I remember sometime years ago, my oldest daughter, Dawn, Dion and Dawn, my 2 daughters, okay, that are here in St. Louis, I would go to football games, with their kids, right? And one of the things that I always was so impressed with them was that in the football games, some of their friends would be around us, and they want to get loose lifted, okay, and just hey, don't talk that way in front of my dad.
Right, I love that. Yeah. My daughters do that all the time.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's that. And you say, it's not like you checking them, okay, and saying, hey, what's the deal? They doing it for you.
Right, it's already in there.
Right, it's instilled in them, okay? My dad don't push like that.
Right.
And I don't push like that.
That is so true.
I mean, and they would be up in these people's face just like that.
Wow.
And then the good part about it, their friends would apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sure I didn't mean to, and I mean, but it's just watching, watching them act adults.
Right. See what you taught them, what you put in there. Yeah. Now you're seeing it in action. Yeah.
You see it in action, okay? And so that's why I said the Super Bomb, okay? We probably along the way. This is beautiful. Last week we had a program with a good friend of mine, Mr. Moore, BMO, to be called from our church. I go to Spirit Church, and BMO has a program called Boys to Men Mentors, and he was on last week. And so this is kind of, it's like what having for us to do your program today behind this program. It's kind of ideally,
Right, you get two points of view to me, the male
and the female, and the female, okay, and get away from the normal Rick and roll about what's going on in China, what the president is doing. Just talk about everyday life. Right, but everyday life with everyday people.
Right.
5 minutes, Mr. R.
True.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Also, and matter of fact, one of those things, I say this right now. I'm gonna put Scott on the spot here. A couple of weeks ago, Scott took his your daughter, Scott, your granddaughter.
My granddaughter.
Took his granddaughter picking honey. Now, they didn't get any triggers, okay, but he got some beautiful memories, right, Scott?
Absolutely. She went fishing. She ran after a turkey, even though she didn't get one. And that was a great memory.
Yeah, now, Scott, how do you hunt turkeys anyway? I want to ask that question.
Basically, we were in a blind, which is a small hut made of cloth, and so I sent my son-in-law and my granddaughter out because I saw a turkey flying, and they went around to try to stalk the turkey, and that's when they were able to chase it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, she has
Can I ask how old she is?
she's 11 years old, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Right.
I took her deer hunting a couple of years ago, and she has a rifle that's specifically made for her size, and she really enjoyed it. So we thought we'd do it again.
Wow. Brave
Memories.
amateur.
Those are memories. Those are memories.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And see, that's why that's what Deborah. We have our everyday lives that we do, but it coming to our kids, and like now we're talking generational stuff now.
Right, right.
You know, with our grandkids and great grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know,
That is so true.
yeah. I mean,
When the memories of us are shared, yeah.
Right. You know, and that's why when Scott would tell me about, you don't do that, I say, go. But I did not want to ask, how do you turkey hunt?
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
But you know something, Scott? This may sound crazy and cruel, okay? But I remember as a kid, I would visit my grandparents on the plantation down in Louisiana, and what they would do when they wanted a chicken, okay, and they'll get the zones that live, they would go outside and grab a chicken, okay, and wring his neck just like that.
Well, yeah, your turkeys are a little too smart for that, but.
You're right, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Those are memories, okay, that we have created for our young people and our next generations and pass up to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, it's like the family time. See what I'm saying, Deborah? You know, this is
Yeah,
this,
I do.
and that's what I said. These two programs that we have in the last couple weeks, okay, for them to fall back to back, okay, you know, God is good.
Yeah, I was going to say higher power working in the back. For sure.
And although the people I just mentioned, you know, Mr. Crump and Jennifer Crichton, all good people, okay, but I'm having more fun talking family time here with you, Scott, okay, as we talk about with our next generation of people, our family members.
Right.
Which is irreplaceable, by the way.
Right.
But anyway, but having said that, there's a thing called time and a clock on the wall. Saying, I gotta tell you, Debra Sinkfield, I want to thank you so much for all of your kids, what they do and have done, and how you've been a Supermom. And I just thank you so much, okay, for taking the time, this beautiful Saturday, to spend the time with us, you know. And Scott,
thank you for having me here.
And also, Scott, I want to thank you also for sharing your time with the turkey hunting also.
You're welcome.
But anyway, my name is Aaron, folks. This is Lunch with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce on a beautiful Saturday, May 16th. On behalf of Reverend Loud, Scott, Turkey Bow, and also Dean Buzz, we said thank you for letting us come into your home. Lunch with the Missouri Chamber of Commerce will be back again next week, same time, 1 p.m. on Fragrance USA Hot Top